Hey, my name's Ramirez. This is FrogBear. I should probably put my logo on here. The different scene. Yeah, I'm going to make a very short video journal entry. Just because I have no idea what to talk about right now. But one thing's for sure. I had a very interesting story. So my mom asked me to go to this shop, the what do you call it? The supermarket for her. She didn't want to go to the supermarket, so she called me and she's all like, "Could you go for me?" And she wanted me. Well, before I get into that story, I want to read. I think it's a poem. I don't even know if I'm the one that wrote this. I'm pretty sure I wrote this because it's my shitty handwriting. But I'll show this much of the page because that bottom stuff relates to something I'm working on, and I don't want to put that out there like that. At the very top, it says, "Hi, hello, hola, hey, howdy." I could add Guten Tag, good morrow. I don't know what else would mean hello. No, au revoir, I think is goodbye. Either way, I think I wrote this poem in relation to this project, which is a video game. I was kind of like surprised that I wrote this. Do mortal hands know the price? Could they bear the debt that isn't paid by coin? The blood, sweat of your time is legal tender. A time lost to strike hot iron. Have you lit the flame? Have you readied the water? Temper not the steel, but unwavering focus. Ready yourself, for each strike is a reflection of the master's skill. Here I wrote the smith's skill, but very interesting that I wrote that. Just thought I should read it for the beginning. Either way, wanted to read that because I was like, well, fuck it. If I'm gonna call this a journal stream, I should put something that kind of relates to that. But make this logo smaller. It's too big. Yeah, so the story, mom calls me. She's like, can you go to the store for me? I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. But she tells me, I need something, but the area you need to go to is so like this Walmart has like one of the corners, one of the very ends of it is a pharmaceutical / beauty area where all the women go and all this other shit, right? And dude, I'm not like, I literally put on a dreadful face. I'm like, I do not want to go do that. Like, so I had to explain to her something that I don't ever think very few people know about me. This is fucking weird. So I've mentioned that I have 4 older sisters. A bit traumatizing to some degree. Especially because my father was abusive. I was the only son. I share his name. I kind of look like him. So let's just say my sisters weren't. Let's just say I'm only close to one of my sisters. We could just leave it at that. Either way. So there's that, and then there's just all the terrible experiences I've had growing up. And I developed this like I thought the only way, like my defense coping mechanism is being a nice person, is being like, that nice guy. And I don't know why I default to it, but this is so fucking embarrassing. Like, I'm the kind of person that will like get nervous or shake in the presence of a female that I don't know. So going to this Walmart and going specifically to the section where there's like nothing but fucking females, I find that a dreadful experience. I do not like being around them. I do not like, I don't know. Like, this comes from, all right, so I had to explain to my mom, like, because she was looking at me like, why'd you put on that face? And I'm like, well, I don't ever think I told you, right? Like, I don't even think she knows, right? Because, right, my mom's like, she was born in the 50s, lived out in the middle of the boonies, and never went to school. So, yeah, I gotta give her leeway, And I look at her and I'm like, Do you know what fat people anxieties are? Like, do you know the sort of anxieties that develop that are associated with being fat, right? Like, we've all seen, I think it was Tiara Banks or something, where like she puts on a fat suit just to see how people treat her, and she discovers a very different side to life. And well, I lived that life for 27 years. Like, not okay. Like, I would not say it's okay. Actually, I could probably show my ID. So this picture I took should probably hide everything. Actually, the signature doesn't matter. I always change it. That was me. I don't know how well you could see that, but that was me back in like 2019. And all right, so like when you're fat, right, you develop all these really weird anxieties that are associated with how you are perceived and how well you're accepted, because you're always bumping into shit, so you become very self-conscious of your spatial awareness, and depending on how other people treat you, like, so in middle school, um anytime there was an exercise that involved holding hands, nobody ever wanted to hold my hand. And just a variety of different instances that built up these insecurities within me. And I had to tell my mom, like, you probably don't know this, so this would be a very interesting exploration for you on YouTube. But could you find out the sort of social anxieties that develop from being fat, and the sort of anxieties that develop? You can get over these. I'm not saying you can't get over them. I'm not saying that they're inhibiting me. I'm just saying that these are just things that I've lived with throughout my life. And so I'm explaining to her, my mom, this, and she's like looking at me with the weirdest face, like, interesting. Is that why you don't like doing X, Y, or Z? Is that why you drive only at these specific times? Is that why you only go to the supermarket at these specific times? And I'm like, yes, because I have like this internal schedule internalized. I know when to go to the park to work out, and I know that people won't be there. Like, I schedule my entire day on avoiding as much people as possible. And I'm kind of realizing that these are symptoms of me from the past, but they're still here today, right? And I kind of like it. I don't know, I'm kind of conflicted about this, right? But so yeah, like, right, I rode public transportation here in Los Angeles for quite some time. I rode my bike everywhere in LA. So, right, having ADHD, being keenly aware, always having like a very good sense of spatial awareness. It's kind of, I don't know. I'm not saying that being fat developed my ability of being hyper aware. I'm just saying that being fat and being hyper aware are the worst two combinations that could ever occur, especially with, unique circumstances, background, blah, 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 all that bullshit. I really don't care at this point. Well, I still kind of care because I don't know, man. Like, because nobody knows this about me, right? Nobody knows that if they bring a female that I'm not well acquainted with, I get incredibly nervous. Like, I get super scared. Like, not nervous from the sense of like, oh my god, she's so pretty. No, more like, oh fuck, dude, like, this is a terrifying experience. Like, it's almost like it's almost like the first time people like encounter like a lion or a dangerous animal that's tame, but it's still that internal like, oh fuck, I don't know what's gonna happen. And there's a variety of instances, right? I'm not just saying that there were a few events that occurred in my life that led to this. No, there were a fuck ton. There was, whatever, doesn't matter. I really don't care at this point. But right, like, I had a variety of instances: middle school, elementary school, high school, and it's led to this inability of, right, like, I sound perfect, right? Motherfuckers would think that I could speak chops like anywhere I want, but not so much. Like, I'm a very good person to talk to on a one-on-one conversation. When it gets into a group setting, I tend to fade away. And anytime that I maintain too much attention, I get incredibly nervous. And then I start making up all these stupid scenarios in my head that some people want me to shut up or this or that, and like whatever, dumb bullshit. Um, and I just found myself explaining this to my mom, and because I did not want to go to that female section, dude. Hell no. I If somebody just stares at me for too long, I get freaked out a little bit. I don't know. Just found it very interesting to see my mom's reaction to be like, interesting. I did not know you were deadly afraid of women. Like, and it's so funny because I had my friend from an online server, right? It's online. I don't get to see your face. I don't see your facial reactions. I don't see how your body language is reacting, right? But one of my female friends online, Bar of Candy, would always get oddly, how do I say, annoyed at the fact that I wouldn't get nervous when I spoke to her. And I'm like, this is very different, right? Like, I had to explain to her, I'm not looking at how your face is reacting. I'm not getting that sensory overload that I normally get when somebody is in person with me. So, right, like, I don't know. It's just very interesting to see myself explain that story to her so calmly and so nice and so eloquently. And I'm just kind of like, wow, I rarely tell people this. Either way, I've just been noticing that, like, accepting parts of myself and letting them go now is just so much easier. Like, oddly enough, I have to be really grateful for the experience that I was given by my interactions with said person and me making these stupid videos. And then I don't know, I feel oddly serene, even though I still got that pain from me messing up my shoulder. Not my shoulder, but like, what do you call the portion underneath the shoulder blade? That like weird bone piece. Either way, interesting to see all this kind of develop this way. And just wanted to make a quick video on that. Not much to say besides, like, yeah, Ramirez has like this deadly afraid thing of like women. Dude, interactions. Fuck, dude. Okay, so there was only one person in my entire life. Okay, this sounds really sad. I should not say this, but I don't give a fuck. So, because my family dynamic was so strange, right? My older sisters kind of viewed me in this negative way. And by the time that I got close to one of my sisters, I was already in 8th grade or 7th grade. Shit, I think I was in 6th grade. And we only got close because we were watching a telenovela, which is a soap opera in English. It was so fucking dumb. And the only reason why we watched it is because I started watching it and I knew how to use the VCR. So I knew how to hit the record button. I knew how to set up the VCR to record at a certain time so that the TV would turn on, the VHS would start recording, and shit would just work. And my family, I still remember their looks like, whoa, you could do that? And so that's how me and that sister got close. But because of these unique circumstances, I'm not a very emotional. Okay, I can't say that because some of my ex-girlfriends would be like, shut the fuck up. Like you're like you're very affectionate. Yeah, but that's because I got to know you. Like, if you're a random stranger, like shit, my family doesn't even know me to being the hug type. Like, I'll just wave. Like, I'm not a very hug person. Like, if it wasn't for my group of friends in high school, the high school that I went to here in LA, and her name was Alejandra, Alex again. If it wasn't for her tackling that issue with me, like, I would have been deadly afraid of hugs from random strangers. Because at this time, kind of weird to say this, but the only person that ever hugged me at the time was my mom, and I only ever got those during my birthday. So like, there was this really weird disconnect with like approaching hugs, being interpersonal beyond acquaintances or beyond friends of convenience. And by friends of convenience, I mean like when you see somebody at school or when you see somebody at work or when you see somebody in a very peculiar sense, and that's the only way that you have a relationship with them, that's what you call a friend of what do you call it? What did I say? Friend of convenience, because it's convenient in the way that you two hang out. Because if that convenience wasn't there, you guys would never be friends. Like, you guys would never hang out outside of whatever circumstances allow you two to be together. Um, this goes back into me moving, me this, me that, and like just thinking about it. I find it very interesting. That, and I reread my whole journal, so a lot of these ideas are kind of fresh in my mind right now. But just to revisit everything just makes it really serene. And I don't know if I should say that. Should I say that? Because that's not okay. You know, because it's a little private. This happened at a time where I just randomly visit campus. Yeah, I could say it. Okay.